Right. Oh, are we going live? We have gone live. It looks like it is just me and Cook today. KBM may or may not be sick. Texted me a few hours ago saying he was not feeling that well, and then I haven't heard from him since. And OSF is at a conference, so it is probably just going to be me and Cook, which I was cool about going live. Like, me and you talk the most. If it was me and KBM or me and OSF, there would be no show. So thank God.
Yeah, then you got to talk the whole time.
We are also live on Kick. It looks like, I think we're live on X. Is that right, producer, as well? We're going live everywhere. It looks like quite a lot. I think we didn't do a show last week, did we?
I think we did last week, but before then it was like a month.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, we catch up on a lot. We did have, again, a pretty fucking eventful week. How did you survive on Friday?
Well, I was fine. Like, yeah, I don't really trade perps a lot. I'm mostly a spot trader. I farm perp DEXs, where I think there's opportunity. I had one position. It was a little bit frustrating. It was really, really small, but I had one position. I was up. This is why it was so frustrating, because I picked the right coin. Like, I was in a Zcash long, and I got liquidated. My liquidation price was like 140 or something, and the next day it was 195. So, but it was like, this is really, really small. Like,
Wow,
I had almost nothing on perp DEXs.
Because I was long Zcash too, and I was also perps. But it did gig ascend on the same day. It hit an all-time high on Friday, I think.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. It was crazy watching the chart, and I'm like, I was at my desk, like, watching, like, the whole hour that the crazy liquidation cascade happened. I was like watching, and I was watching it progressively get worse. And I was gonna add margin. I'm like, nah, something weird's going on. So I just let it happen. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in crypto, like, to just watch live.
Yeah, I was watching it live too. Luckily, I was at the desk because it was quite late local time, and Bitcoin just started going. And then I was on Binance, and I mean, I've never seen anything like that on Binance. Like, I've said it before on no show, but Sui hit like $5 billion, and it was trading at 35. It wasn't just like the main coins. It wasn't just like shit coins. It was like maybe Sui is a shit coin, but it was like top 20 coins were just getting eviscerated. And
dude, Adam went to zero. Like, Adam hit 0.0001 on KuCoin. Like, crazy.
These just unbelievable wicks. This is the thing about perps. I've said it, like, everyone thinks they have an edge, and then shit like this happens. It happens. I've never seen anything like this before, but there's always a wipeout like this. Not severe, but like every 6 months there's one. The last one was around tariffs. There was a pretty bad one around Iran versus Israel. And then this one was the worst one I've seen. But like, it is a rigged game when you start looking at some of these. It's just like, people only look at the candle and they forget the wick, Yeah. And the wicks are just insane for some of these.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm not a huge perps trader. Like I said, I kind of use it like a tool. Like, I'll take a directional shot in and out. Like, max, I've got 2 trades on. But yeah, good reminder to just... You can't be all in on perps. And the weirdest thing, the meta in crypto has snowballed over the last 6, 9, 12 months to just push everybody onto perps DEXs. And then you have every single wallet offering perps directly in the wallet. Yeah. Every spaces I've been on or listened to, they're talking about which perp DEXs to farm. And like, everybody with less capital is thinking, this is the way I'm going to make it. I have to be on these perp DEXs. I have to farm. And then there's just like the Lickmageddon, and took a lot of people out completely, I think, right? Like, I hated to see it, man.
Yeah, I think it did take most people out. I actually, weirdly, I don't know that many people who got liquidated this time. I know 1 or 2, nothing like crazy, but it felt like this really affected like big funds or big market makers. What did you make of all the Hyperliquid versus Binance shit on the back of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know. I'm a propagandist, right? Like, I was talking about this a lot, same day, next day, day after. Like, I think that this is the perfect case study in everybody's face for why Binance's model is shady and antiquated, and it perfectly illustrates the value of a DEX like Hyperliquid. Like, part of my Hyperliquid thesis has been, I think that Jeff is progressing the idea of markets and in pushing this like full transparency of everything on chain. And Binance doesn't even report liquidations. Even in their own docs, it says they report like 1 liquidation per second, right? So you don't actually know what's going on. And they come out and give out like whatever $300 million back to their clients or whatever it is. But like, yeah, I just think it's a good illustration of me of why a fully on-chain order book is something very important in crypto. So I think it's extremely bullish Hyperliquid that this happened.
I don't know why they don't do that, and because Bybit didn't do it either, and then Binance didn't do it, and obviously like this wouldn't be that hard for them to fix. So I think it really just shows that like the numbers would just be reported would be so obscene that it looks bad. But I think at this stage it looks worse that they don't just show them. I think it looks way worse that way to me now.
And there's a massive amount of like overcompensation from Binance now. They're like arguing with random people on the timeline, and like CZ's getting all like bent out of shape. Like, it's really weird. Indicates guilt to me, nothing else. Like,
two different bits. Let's go first to like what Hyperliquid did though. Do you think this auto deleveraging thing was right? It seems like what they did, they auto deleveraged. HLP made $40 million, and
in 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah,
in 10 minutes. And I will say, I'm a pretty big HLP depositor, and as this was all going on, like from this liquidation cascade, what I lost on Zcash, I made 80 times that in HLP in 10 minutes. And so it was kind of weird to watch. Like, I reload the page and it's like, whoa, reload again, whoa. Like, and you don't really know what's going on. Like, I know what HLP does and I know it handles liquidations, but ADL, I think, so I had to study ADL after this, right? To like, I've heard of it and I kind of got the concept. I knew it existed, but I didn't really know how it worked. I think after it's been deconstructed, and like depending what you read, there's a lot of FUD around it, right? Like, but I saw, and maybe Kobe gives some validity to it because he was saying the same thing. But I saw a bunch of calcs and write-ups and stuff saying that ADL actually maximized profit for most people on the short side, like the timing of the closures of the positions and stuff. So I think it's good. Like, there has to be a winner and a loser, right? Like,
it's a mix for people. For Bitcoin, ETH, that was potentially the case, but for a lot of the for the altcoins, no. So the people who got really wrecked was like that long BTC hype short alts bag, right? Because they actually got stopped out way earlier. So that's some of the major market makers who use it, like who are short some of these long tail perps, they got badly damaged, it seems like. So I don't know if it was necessarily a mix, but the alternative is that HLP would have lost that money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they absorb bad debt, right? Like in the alternative scenario. Yeah.
And I thought it was relatively controversial, that, because you could have argued that in a situation where every single one of your users has been wrecked, it's not like Hyperliquid doesn't make a ton of money, that this time that maybe they should have eaten it, but it is what it is, I guess. HLP holders were doing much better, but I don't think anyone came out of that like incredible. I agree with you that Binance. What is going on with Binance at the moment? Like, they're being very active. They just did a $400 million airdrop after everyone got wrecked. BNB then hit an all-time high, and they're retweeting like some pretty low-tier accounts. Like, what is going on?
I mean, yeah, I'm biased here, right? Because I'm like a Hyperliquid maxi, and like I'm a Hyperliquid maxi mostly because of the ethos. And if you've been around crypto a long time, and especially if you have like a little bit more access to how things work as like a quote unquote KOL, or like you've been involved with a project, or you've seen how listing works and like how listings at Binance work. To me, it's just like people are asking questions and exposing Binance listing practices, and the way that they're reacting to me is a clear indication of guilt. Like, even if you were just a normie and you're a casual CT participant and you had no idea if all this stuff people are posting about Binance listings are true, the reaction kind of proves it's true. And so it's damage control to me, quite obviously. Like, I just saw a tweet from Yee or whatever, like the lady who's on the Binance management team. This is like, I saw an hour ago or something. She tweeted that people are getting paid $20K each to FUD Binance. And like, that's not true, right? I'm not getting paid anything. I'm just talking about what's going on in crypto. So it seems like an overcompensation when you know that you're guilty. And it's not very hard for them to, do an airdrop, 300 million, whatever it is, especially when they just caused like an unknown liquidation cascade, 20 billion reported. And keep in mind that the previous high for crypto liquidations in a day is 3 billion. And that was during COVID.
It feels like that in the timeline. I put out, and I've been pretty, one of my biggest bags has been BNB. I was long Aster. And today I put out a tweet, which is Hyperliquid, basically talking about the listing fee stuff, which is another aspect of this, which is 100% true. Binance obviously charges huge amounts to list on Binance. And Hyperliquid has more of like a auction process for that to happen. And I just put out, look, I think this is the best system than any sex. Someone in my replies said, I thought you were a smart man, didn't think you were a paid shill, losing respect and credibility real fast. This could have an impact on Baroque and Rekt Radio believers. Hyperliquid is an insolvent DEX with lots of gray areas and bad actors in it. Damn, this space is losing it. I was just like,
where does that come from?
Where does that come? I've been someone who's like been pretty like Binance. I think is Binance's cycle. They're gonna do really well. To come at me like that, I was like, wow, like people fucking hate each other right now. Like,
yeah, it's a bit
feels
odd.
like that. Totally.
You're pretty neutral. I mean, yeah, like you just said, right? Like you're in BNB. You were talking about Aster last time, and I'm more like Hyperliquid Maxi. Like I have an Aster bag. I think they'll be the second biggest DEX. Like. But I've noticed this too, is like the fans of Binance. I don't know where they come from, but it's always these weird accounts I've never really seen. But they're really mad and they hate Hyperliquid, and it's just like it's so interesting. But they can't really deny the facts, right? Like the CEO of Limitless, or the founder, he put out like the details around the proposed listing deal with Binance, and like that's exactly like other Binance listing deals that I've heard about in the past. And for Binance to deny it, I think they deny it based on semantics, because there's no like quoted listing fee, but there's all this other stuff you have to do. And it all amounts to a huge cost. But yeah, I don't know where these guys come out and like try to defend Binance and then attack Hyperliquid. There's not much to attack, right? Insolvent DEX is a bit weird. It's all on chain.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I've just been very surprised by it all. Like I think it's starting to be. I'm very glad that Binance is being called out on this stuff, because I think Binance couldn't. It's such a powerhouse. It doesn't need to do this shit. It should have a more transparent listing process, and it should report all of its liquidations. Those are two easy things. Like no one's asking you to like reveal that much here, but listings as a process should be a bit more clear, and the liquidation stuff, like, yes, report the right data. Don't report like knowingly wrong data. It just seems dumb. So
well, and like I mean, it's like this in any situation. Like I don't know if we're going to talk about this or not, but that crazy stuff with that Cole guy, I don't really know him, but how do scammers deflect like when they've been kind of caught, right? And they do all this different stuff. And like, if you're Binance, you're so huge. And if everything was above board last Friday, they probably would just ignore all the FUD, put out one statement that fully deconstructs everything, and that's it. And they took the opposite route. Like they didn't deconstruct anything. And they're just combating FUD, saying that everyone on CT is getting paid $20K each to FUD them, it's just so weird.
Yeah, look, I think I think that they need to do a little bit, particularly if CZ's now made himself a bit more of a main character. This, like, he is posting a lot, and this sort of stuff, he can't just ignore it. So if you're gonna be like community first or this sort of stuff, then these are easy wins. If they do this sort of stuff, I think it's really easy wins, and they can then go back to being the biggest exchange and like dominating various different bits of this industry. But I think they just need to be a bit more reactive, in my opinion. Yeah.
I think he's cracking. I think that CZ, like, look, he took out SBF, man. This guy's in jail for life, right? And like, he's the king. Like, he's out there playing the nice guy. He went on Threadguy's stream. I don't think that timing is coincidence, right? When he chose to go on Threadguy's stream, Threadguy's asked him a million times. He's trying to buy goodwill. And I think that he sees Jeff, right? Like, he posted that picture of Jeff at the Binance Labs, and like this is before the liquidation stuff last week, like midweek. And there's all these jokes about how CZ is obsessed with Jeff and all this stuff. Like, Jeff's living rent free in his head. And he clearly is, right? And Hyperliquid is the first thing ever, more so than FTX. Hyperliquid is the biggest threat that Binance has ever had. And documented, proven, they've already tried to take them out a couple other times. And so, like, my belief is that this was Binance caused the liquidation cascade themselves, right? If you go into how it happened. And I think it was all with the goal to take down Hyperliquid, and it failed again. And I think that, like, their grip on the industry is cracking, and they don't like it. And that's where the behavior is coming from. And really, like, what's the future of financial markets? It's obviously transparency. Crypto exists as a response to the 2008 financial crisis, where the problem was financial institutions operating within a black box, creating a huge problem that then exploded. And so what happened on Friday? The same thing, right? Like, if this stuff was all on chain, if they were getting price data for USDE, using oracles and everything else, that wouldn't have happened. And so if Binance wasn't a black box, and now this listing stuff, that people are saying, this is true, this is what you ask people to do for listings. And they're like, no, it's not, but they can't prove it's not. And it is true, right? Because you have all these accounts of people saying, well, they told me to do that to list my token and everything else. And so obviously the future is transparency. And I just think that they're trying to stave off the new incumbent. It's the ego thing, bro. That's how I look at it. CZ's scared.
So what's the TV out of Hyperliquid?
I don't know. I should know that. But no, I don't work for them. I don't have to know that. But
5 billion.
I'm not sure. 5 billion.
I think Binance is something like 200 billion. I get what you're saying, and I think he's going to destroy every other sex. So like the idea that his biggest competitor is like OKX or something like that is kind of laughable at this stage. So it really is just because it's a different business model here. I still wouldn't rule them out, but I think they need to just fucking fix up their act a little bit on some of this stuff. I still think like BNB is gonna fucking full moon for the rest of this cycle, and I think they're gonna champion a bunch of things on their chain, and they can do the SEC stuff pretty well, but I think they really dropped the ball. I thought it was a joke. Like, it sounds as though a bunch of market makers got stopped out, and then there was just literally no liquidity in crypto,
yeah.
which is just, I guess it does tell you that, like, yeah, sometimes it is just us passing it between ourselves and market makers in between. Like, there's no other real users at 10 p.m. on a fucking Friday, as you can see from the order books. That little speech you just gave about the whole, like, 2008, we're rising up against the fucking machine, feels like somebody who owns Zcash still, in my mind.
Me?
Yeah,
no,
that's the Zcash narrative, my friend.
No, it's the Bitcoin narrative, man. Zcash is Bitcoin cope. Like, I think that Bitcoin is private. Like, I'm not really. I like Zcash. It's fine, but yeah, I'm on a glide path this cycle, man, and we're almost at the end. So I've got like 4 bags I watch very closely. I make very few new trades. That's why Zcash was like a little perp position, because I'm like, oh, I can farm a perp DEX. I can put on a little long. It's what everyone's talking about. It's going to go up, and then I'll sell it. Like, just one directional bet with a defined time frame. But no, I'm not interested in like building a real, like, serious position of Zcash. It's all Bitcoin, man. All roads lead back to Bitcoin.
Hey, Bitcoin's my biggest bag. Zcash is increasingly becoming my second biggest bag at the moment. We're running it back, man. We're running
You're
it
gonna
back.
sell it though. Zcash is a trade, right? Like you're gonna sell that, and you're not gonna sell the Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'll never sell Bitcoin.
Yeah, there you go.
That's 100% true. That is 100% true. I'm about 30 to 35% stables right now. Then mainly Bitcoin, and then Zcash, and then a long tail of BNB, some Asta, some Hype, some Athena. I like Athena. What do you think of this move in gold, man? Like, I know it was like, oh, it's a debasement trade and all these precious metals are going higher, but like when gold starts moving like this, it does make you think like, ooh, what's the fuck's going on here?
Well, I'm sidelined on metals, which I wish I wasn't, but I don't think I'll chase. But I don't know, man. It's just like I look at it like currency debasement trade. And so as long as you own high quality assets, like, gold already doubled. It's like 4,200 or whatever. It'll probably go up more. Maybe I'll put a long on gold or something, but I'm not really, I'm such a Bitcoin maxi that like, I figure Bitcoin will catch up because Bitcoin to me is the real gold. Like if you want real protection against currency debasement, like Bitcoin, I don't know if it's this year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, but I'm not I don't really have much gold FOMO. I'm not really looking to add any gold, but it's I don't know, currency debasement, man. You just have to own assets, high quality stocks and Bitcoin.
If you bring up Tether Gold, so XAUT, did you see the trade that happened here?
I didn't see a trade on it, but I like it, and I've owned it in the past actually.
On Friday, because of all the liquidations, this traded at like 3,600.
Whoa.
So this is a little bit of alpha. If you see like mass liquidations in the market, look at Tether Gold as the thing to fucking buy, because it traded like way below where fucking gold was trading suddenly. See, it went all the way down.
That's interesting.
I don't know if this is on Bybit. Maybe is it on Binance? It basically got like destroyed. Maybe you can only get it on Bybit, but yeah, like as we get RWAs on chain and for like mass liquidations, weirdly, I think this could be like a really obvious trade that like when you see liquidations happening just in crypto, which we get every few months, just go in and buy this, and you'll probably be able to buy it at like a good arbitrage, like discount to where it's trading.
Like it hit, I'm looking at it on Hyperliquid now. They have it on Hyperliquid spot. It hit 3,900. That's pretty good. Yeah.
So I know some people, I know at least one person who did that trade. And
so I'm interested by your asset mix. So you're 35% stables. Is that high in general? Or
that is higher than usual. Yeah, that is higher than usual. Mainly because I've had like, I'm on a fucking heater at the moment. Like I am on mainly the perp account. Like I caught ETH, then I caught BNB, then I caught Zcash recently, and it's been like a good run. And I don't want to fuck it up. And the other thing I've really noticed, and this is broadly, as gold is going higher, I'm seeing like a lot of volatility in broader macro right now. So at any one time, I just know each day, like I almost have a chance to get into like a really good trade. Like nothing ever runs away from you. So even like Zcash, like I got into it, it was running away from me, and I was like, no, I'm not going to chase this thing. It went all the way down from at the time. It went from 160 down to, or 170 down to 120 in a day, right? Wow. And then I caught it then, and I go like, well, you want to have stables because you don't need to be deployed, because you can actually just be a bit more nimble right now, more so than other times. September and October, I kind of knew it would be a bit like this. So that's why I'm mainly in Bitcoin and maybe in higher level of stables. But I bought a ton of things on Saturday and Friday. mainly on Saturday though. To be, I bought a bunch of different things on Saturday, and then I sold them. You know, I sold a bunch of them. So I'm just like cognizant that if gold's going to continue this sort of run, I think everyone in global markets is looking at gold and being like, maybe this is more than just the debasement. Like if you take debasement out to its end goal, things don't feel that good. I don't reckon. Like you're probably in a world where things start to melt down from a currency perspective for many like different countries, and I just like, it just kind of scares me. So I'm just cognizant that if gold's going higher, volatility is probably going higher, and it's served me well. I'm using these trading bots though. I've told you, like these grid bots or these trend following bots, and so basically making money from the volatility of what as well. So that's been one of the main changes to like my trading strategy at the moment.
Wow.
Using bots rather than which basically trade a little bit of the volatility as you're long or as you're short, and that's been a successful one. But if I mean, we've spoken about it before. Do you think Q4 is it, or I saw a tweet
I still strongly believe.
Close.
Yeah, I think we're close. Like I'm still expecting to see like a Bitcoin blow off top somewhere. Like I don't know, 140 or something. Like I feel like. Yeah, but I feel like Q4 is it. We might have seen the top already. I don't like. I'm ready for that possibility. I'm pretty high in stables too. For you, like usually for me, I don't have many stables, and I haven't most of the cycle. I'm probably at 25% stables, maybe 20%, 50% Bitcoin, maybe 55, 20% hype, something like that. And then some long tail stuff, other bags. I got a pump bag. I like pump. Alan will pump it in Q4. And not much else. And so I hold the stable so I can be nimble, like you say. I'm not doing it with perps though, just spot. Like I bought a lot of stuff on Saturday that I haven't sold. But I think Q4 is going to be it, man. And I think we're going to see Bitcoin rally at some point, and then I think it's all over. And by the time it's all over, I'm going to have like that stable percentage will be a lot higher. Probably sell everything except for Bitcoin and hype.
Yeah. I think you've been pretty constant in what you think in that. This is it. I'm going to keep Bitcoin and hype.
The thing is, if it's not the end, like if we go higher for longer, right? If we go higher for longer, then I'm okay. Like I don't mind that outcome at all because Bitcoin is fine. It'll just go higher and hype will just go higher. Like I'm fully prepared to hold like a huge bag of hype through the bear market. I don't think that this is really like a cyclical trade. I think that it's like a realization based trade for the rest of the industry and then TradFi beyond the crypto industry. And things like this Binance event are going to like fast forward the realizations that people are going to have. But I'm prepared for any outcome, I would say. And if we get some kind of, top-ish moves in Q4, I'll be selling a lot more and I'll just be very patient. And I don't know if we run past then, if we go down, I'm not really, I don't know if I want to call my portfolio defensive, but I'm not really, the active side of my portfolio right now is it's shrank versus 6 months ago or a year ago. Let's say.
Yeah. I think it's not dissimilar to me, but I've been in Bitcoin. I think the thing is I'm just in Bitcoin. Everyone's like, and I don't think many people in crypto are. Which is kind of a big difference. So like Bitcoin did move 10%, but it's not really like, oh yeah, right. I mean, these are big figures, but I'm not eviscerating my bag. If it goes below 100K, that's 10% again. So it's not going to cause like an 80% move in one of my bags. So I'm okay keeping it. And I've kind of just living with the idea that I'll always keep Bitcoin. I'm seeing the timeline getting absolutely destroyed though here with like huge views every single time we go up or down. I did say I thought Bitcoin would hit an all-time high in October. It did. But then soon afterwards, my first view is actually I was in Asia and I met so many people who were like, yeah, actually, this is the end. I do think we're going to go higher again. And I actually think it's going to be in a Santa Claus style rally. That is my gut here, which is quite a departure for you. And I think from now until then, people are going to be destroying themselves, thinking it's over or we're going to hit all-time high, because it feels like that. Like, I don't know how many times Hanson's been rinsed on this, but he's been long, short, long, short, long, short. And right now we're 110K. I've got this bet on with KBM, which is 100K or 120K. Like 100K, we've got 100K on the line, either side. And
it's a 100K bet.
It's a 100K bet.
Let's go.
KBM actually owes me 100 grand. So, this is his chance to get out of it. But like, you can see that this is huge volume already going through this market, because it's like no one fucking knows right now. It feels like everyone's going to destroy themselves thinking about this. It could hit neither of these for like months, in my opinion, and then maybe like mid-December we start rallying. And because I think after mid-December we would comfortably say that the 4-year cycle is over, as in like, that would be like, oh, it's everyone who is selling for the 4-year cycle sold in August, September, maybe even July, and now getting ready for like an October 4-year cycle. By December, you're not selling for the 4-year cycle. You're probably realizing it's either over or it's not. And my gut is that it won't be over. And then people will be like, all these TradFi bros who can just keep on buying are going to keep on buying. And the 4-year cyclers will be like, oh, actually, maybe we're going to continue here.
Yeah,
that's my gut.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bitcoin doesn't have a 4-year cycle anymore. That's why I'm just committed to holding Bitcoin forever. I don't know, man. Markets are designed to frustrate. So when everybody gets bored and they think it's over and nothing's happened for a long time, then you'll see the big move in Bitcoin. Santa rally sounds pretty good to me.
That's my thought. And I think maybe you might be right in that it all feels like it's over in Q4 and everyone should have sold, because it already feels like every time we move down 1%, everyone's like, it's over. Like, it's more so than at any point previously, in my opinion, because everyone's bringing up how long the cycle's been and how much all these alts are up, and it's just like, it just feels stretched in so many different spots. But I think if it hasn't happened by middle of December, I don't think it happens in Q1. This is my gut around it.
Yeah, but the thing I'm worried about is like, once we're 60 to 90 days after the first cut in like a rate cut cycle, historically, like more often than not, markets are going to chop. I had a really good chart on this. I think I posted on Twitter, but yeah. And I know OSF disagrees with me quite vehemently, but because he's like more like, oh, rate cuts, like as soon as they start cutting rates, then the liquidity has to go somewhere. And I agree, but everybody front runs everything. So crypto market's pretty small. It's not like, we got to see, man. So many ways to look at it, but I'll just be holding the Bitcoin to see what happens. Either way, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. So we're kind of in the same camp there. The only other thing that happened this week was the BNB memes, but like, I don't feel like I was going to make any money on any of those, and I can just tell by your tone that you probably didn't get involved in any of those.
No, I traded them. Like, I traded. I for about a week, I was in the BNB trenches, just having fun, like small capital, just aping CAs from the chat, because that's always fun. But no major wins or anything. I didn't catch any of the mega runners. I made some money. Took it all off BNB already. It was kind of fun, but yeah, you're just guessing at what CZ is going to engage with. And so it's a whole different like ballpark. I was tracking some like Chinese accounts and just buying whatever. The list of tokens in my GN bots, just all Chinese tickers. Like, you have no idea what they are. I had to keep clicking into the charts to like remind myself which coin was which. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, if you criticize the bonk memes for not being good enough, the BNB memes, you're just like, is this even a meme? What the fuck is this? I don't really know if it's a cultural thing or not, but you don't really know what's going on. Are we going to go there as well? Like, Bonkguy was wiped during this period, but useless is hitting an all-time high. He wasn't the only person to be wiped during this whole period. Like some other major perp traders seemingly were out. There were some big guys that got.
Do you see the white whale?
The white whale.
The two biggest. The two biggest I saw was Bonkguy and the white whale. I think the white whale, like his account was 68 or 69 million, and he got licked. And then Bonkguy, it was like 30 million. It's crazy, like absolutely crazy.
The white whale, I read his post. We should maybe bring it up. And I would suggest anyone that is going to trade perps. He has become like a very. I do like him.
I like him too, man. I read his content. I like him.
He's pretty honest about what happened. But he was like, I cried in my wife's arms. I'm going to try and make it all back. And he's like now posting like 5-figure P&Ls. I just get the feeling this guy may do it again. I think he seems good.
You think he's back in there too? You think he's going to run it up again? Yeah. I was wondering, like, he's back in there like a day later, and I was like, oh, maybe he won't be trading with a level head. But I'm loving watching this guy, and I hope he makes it all back, man.
I may be controversial for this, but I actually think that's some of the worst advice I see in crypto.
What? Take some time off? I don't do it.
Not the, like, if you've lost 68 million, maybe. But I think a lot of people will lose a little bit on these days, or maybe even lose a lot, right? Maybe they lose 10, 20% of their portfolio. And they go like, oh, I'm not going to trade. Like, I'm not going to trade again. Like, if you're being wiped out on 90% of your portfolio, I do think, maybe take some time off. If you're getting it just had a bad day, and it's a day like that, I actually think the next 48 hours are often some of the biggest opportunities in crypto. And a lot of people say, oh, touch grass, like, don't do anything. The times to be really locked in is not when everything is going absolutely insane. That's often the time to sell and switch off. The times to be really locked in is when everyone's just been fucking liquidated and you get the chance to buy things when there was just peak fear. And quite a lot of the times that people that I saw on the timeline was like, oh, I lost money on perps. I'm never touching them again, all this sort of stuff. And actually, they may not even lost that much. And they basically switch off for that weekend because often these things happen on a Friday night. And you actually have to be fucking locked in because if you buy on that Saturday like I did, or even on that Friday, they are some of the best trades. They really, really are. And nobody else is in them. And everyone else kind of logs back in on Monday and Bitcoin's at 116K. And then they start buying then. And we're back down to 111K. So, yeah, it's controversial. But when there is massive liquidations and you haven't lost 90% of your portfolio, or maybe 70% plus, and you've just got a flesh wound, fucking lock in, because there's huge time for outsized returns on the bounce back or something like that.
Yeah, you know what they say? Well, I say it, and I tweeted it a few times, but a good trader and a good athlete, or a great trader and a great athlete, have something in common, one thing in common, and it is a short memory. You can't dwell on the last play. You have to be able to move forward and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I just saw it a lot on the timeline the days afterwards, being like, oh, I'm never touching perps, or I lost money, or I came out slightly unscathed. I'm just going to take the weekend off, or this sort of shit.
Yeah. Well, I actually went on a Spaces like on the weekend on Saturday, I think. And it was a big one, like a whole bunch of people on it. And I got on the stage and there was like 5 speakers ahead of me, each one of them saying kind of the same thing, that like, it's now been proven that this is gambling, and like, maybe you shouldn't gamble. You should save your money and like own a house and stuff. And like, I was like, no, it's not gambling. Like, you actually have to like use each tool in a different way. Like, my view on perps is, again, it's like a tool, and I take these small directional bets, and it wouldn't be possible, knock on wood, for me to get licked for 70% of my net worth, because it would never be on a perp dex in a couple trades. So yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying, though. I think a lot of people do treat it like gambling, and they treat it and this is when they get most wrecked. And then at the moment where it is the most plus EV, to start using this sort of stuff. They say, I'm never going to use it. And they get drawn into it at the worst possible times. Yeah.
Well, it's
games
sort of
very simple stuff.
Don't touch grass, don't take days off, lock in. Yeah, that's great advice. I saw Trader Main said something similar too. He's like, just keep going or something.
Yeah. On those days, the outsized returns, like I was locked in on that Saturday, fully locked in, because I knew that's a day where everyone else would be like, oh, I don't even want to look, or this sucked. And you could have bought like crazy things still. Like at one point,
you buy? All I bought was I bought Hype, and I bought Pump Spot because I'm a boring loser. But I got some good prices.
I bought Athena at 0.37 or 0.38. I bought Fartcoin was trading at 320 million, just sitting at 320 million for like most of the day. It wasn't an insane trade, but that went up like 20-30%.
I didn't
like
buy
just
Fartcoin.
Right, but like that's because there's so much fear. I'm gonna get liquidated. It's like, bro, it's traded at 320 million. Like, what else did I buy? I bought BNB. BNB went back down to like 1,000, and it seemed like an obvious buy. I bought that on the Friday night though. Actually, BNB was like the first thing I bought on the Friday. I think I only bought those three because I just felt like I looked at the OI change and was just like, these seem like obvious bets. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like they were home runs, but they were very easy risk reward trades.
You're gonna get 20%. Like Fartcoin was pretty obvious. I was looking at it. I didn't buy it. I already have a huge bag of Fartcoins, so it's like whatever. But I should have added.
But also Bonkguy got like, that was the other thing that was very obvious to me, was that all of his coins, the OI, would just got just like huge vacuum in the OI. So it was like, oh well, I mean, who else is going to get liquidated here on Fartcoin? Like,
this was a great post, by the way. Like I you know what? I've been back and forth with him. Like it's all good fun, kind of trolling each other when the market's up only and everybody's winning. But I got a lot of respect for this guy. I think he'll be back. I like him, and I really like this post.
When somebody loses that amount of money and can write something like this and be very open and honest about it, you've got to give him the flowers, because it takes a lot to do that. A lot of people, like, I got the sense, and this is just me reading between the lines, that Kobe also got probably pretty badly licked from what he said on his post. I don't know if you saw, he wrote a post which is like,
no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, Kobe wrote something like, you got to be like, I got burned on a few things here. I'm just going to focus on the main things that I'm like focused on. It was very much like a fuck, like, why do they have these positions on, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think some people would have been lost like a ton of money on this, and no one would have said anything. Yeah. And he had to come out and say it, obviously, because he's been very public about his posts. But yeah, to come out here and say that, yes, and I think Useless is sitting all-time high, right? Like, and that's not been favorite coin. I agree, but like, I kind of get why that now feels a bit Murad-y. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Bonkguy redemption coin.
This is the Bonkguy redemption coin. Like, this could go to $1 billion.
Useless.
Yeah,
I've made money shorting Useless 4 times, 4 out of 4 times. Not a ton, but like, I just short the spikes. It worked every time. I don't want to touch it now. Like, and I hope it goes to 5 billion for Bonkguy. That'd be sick.
Yeah. And this is the best pitch now for Useless making it, because the guy has literally just been destroyed on everything, basically but his Useless spot. And now if that goes to $1 billion, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's a good story for owning spot versus futures as well, though. Like,
absolutely.
I don't think you should ever, and I like, this is me speaking directly to anyone. If you have a massive position in a meme coin in perps, you are doing it wrong. Like, you are doing it wrong. The wicks will always get you. They will always get you. You might not think, oh, it only wicked down to there then. the exchanges know where your liquidations levels are, and they will take you out. And the funding is always obscene. And I think it also, like, owning spot on these positions and being a big spot holder is actually much better for the coin than owning perps. Like, if you were really going to make that like your persona, or like don't do it in perps. Just don't. Like, have
I totally
perps
agree.
in major coins, not in memes.
You don't need to trade perps on memes, man, because the memes are the ones that are going to 20x anyways if you're right. And you want to be able to sit there. Like, you got to stomach a huge drawdown on every good meme trade that ever worked. Like, you know, you had to go through at least a 50% drawdown.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I've had big perp positions I had it in Mudeng once. I had a big spot and a big perp, and like the perp position I used to fret about all the time, because I was like, why this thing just wicks? And like, I remember one day, maybe it was just after Trump, around that sort of time, and it was just like the wick nearly got me. I was like, I would never have expected it to get me. And after that, I was just like, there's just zero point having perps in this sort of stuff. Cross margin and wicks can just destroy you. I think that my gut is that Eustace will do a full Murad here. Do you think Murad's going to sell? There was quite a lot of shit about him moving like one soul the other day, like the first time he's ever done anything in months.
I don't know.
He said he would sell in Q4. SPX.
I don't know.
Holding up okay as well.
I don't know what his end game is, man. If he sells, he's going to be a crypto supervillain for a while. But then again, like, he has to sell. So I don't, like, at some point, right? Or what was the point? So I'm not quite sure what his end game is. I never was.
Has anyone got his wallet? Like, surely we can see his Murad's wallet somewhere. Like, he must be back down to like 20-ish, right? I can only imagine.
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while, but yeah, I think the high was 50 or 60, or I don't know. I just see tweets about it. I've never actually gone and checked.
Because he was in like Mog and a couple of the other ones that got really badly smacked, didn't they, over the weekend? Yeah, these big meme coin guys. It's tough.
Oh, here we go. 35 mil. Let's go.
We saw 35. Wow. Okay. Nice. It's all
SPX.
No Giga?
Yeah. I mean, no Giga.
Yeah, God. That is.
I mean, he's kind of a genius, because I think the whole play was to just, like, one by one add the loudest communities to his list, and then slowly and, you know, stealthily vamp them all into whichever coin ended up being the winner, because he kind of just vamped everyone into SPX. He didn't talk about any of these coins for like a year, except for SPX, basically.
Yeah. I mean, some of this, like, what was it, like Mini, and that was why he lost me anyway. Like, that was why I thought it was a bit ridiculous. Like,
yeah. He's a good salesman, man.
Somebody else will do it.
New metrics every week just to frame his narrative. But
shit.
Good for him. I don't know if he can sell, though. I don't know how he's going to sell.
You seen this? Coinbase to list BNB.
Oh, really?
Coinbase to list BNB. None of the major US exchanges have listed BNB, so we're going to see some fuckery around BNB. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's maybe go to the. This was a good show again. Like, brought the heat across a bunch of different topics. Anything else you think we should be focused on right now? Feels like perp. You sent me a perp dex last week, but then everyone got eviscerated on it.
Yeah, you gotta join that, dude. What are you doing? It's Trade XYZ.
Yeah, Trade.
That's
XYZ.
Hyperunits HIP3 perp dex. That's going to be a big deal, bro. And their flagship index they launched with is the XYZ 100, which is like the 100 biggest US equities. And so ideally, right, in the fully decentralized on-chain future, this is going to be like the 24/7 US equity index that everybody's going to be trading. When everything's plugged into Hyperliquid, this will be like, no one's going to watch ES. Like, you'll watch this XYZ 100. Maybe. But you got to be on this thing. I'm not even
is a wild handle for them to get. They did well getting that.
Bro, just go on the landing page and see the little animation. Like this, it's crazy. I'm a big look and feel guy, but I'm not even on it yet. Like, because only the top 100 on the wait list got given access, so it's live, but like you can't trade yet. But I think that's good. The other two things we should cover quickly, maybe because they're topical: Monad and Mega ETH.
Yeah, Monad. What you think it's going to be worth a lot?
Well, I don't know. I'll probably dump it. They actually. So I was the only person on crypto Twitter that didn't get a Monad card. Which,
really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? Because I've fudded them heavily for like at least 2 years. I love to FUD Monad, but when I went to the Wallet Connect thing, G Monad, exactly. Well, they did a couple things that I think are hilarious. Like, I'm not going to be out there pumping it. I haven't even tweeted about it, but one thing that's funny is I think they were just trolling me because I got the highest allocation when I go on the checker and connect my Twitter. So that's good. Thanks for the bag. And then they completely slashed India. Did you see that?
No.
Bro, oh my God. They took out, like, they posted a statement about Sybils and like removing Sybil wallets. And I forget the number of wallets they removed, but like they were all related to like activity in Southeast Asia, they say. And so India and Nigeria, like all the Discord chatters are like furious with Monad now. And so they're good at marketing. I always thought Monad's a marketing project, right? Like it's not really a chain. It was always a marketing project. They're selling marketing and they always had good marketing. So yeah, no, I'm not bullish on it or anything.
The previous marketing ones like Berachain though, they sometimes have a hot start and then it's just like, oh.
Well, Berachain was a scam, wasn't it? Like that's the OHM guys, I thought that was like an actual scam. Like people knew that was just like a big scam.
I don't know if it was a scam. We had them on this show. I know they had an iGaming background, and I didn't know they were OH. I didn't know they were OHM.
Man, I heard it was the Quadriga and like OHM guys. Quadriga being the big Canadian exchange.
Quadriga?
That's what I heard, man. I don't know.
No, I had calls with them. They were. I know at least some of them were involved in on-chain casinos because when we started up YEET, I had conversations with them about it. So I don't know if that's the same group, but
maybe it's real. Are you getting a Monad airdrop? You must get the biggest one too.
I mean, I looked at it the other day. I don't know if I'm getting the biggest, but I'm definitely getting an airdrop. Let's see what happens with Monad. And then Mega ETH, they're doing their ICO this week. A lot of big names backing it. Or is it this week or next week? I don't know when it's going to be. But you think
registration? They opened registration today.
Right.
I think registration period October 15th to 27th. I think the details on the valuation and the ICO sale come out like next week or something. One of them said to me, but I don't know. Like I'm up in the air on like how bullish I am on Mega ETH as a network. The same reason that I'm not super bullish on. I'm more bullish on Mega ETH than Monad. If you look at like what they are, right? I just think crypto is now like chains are irrelevant. Tech is fully commoditized and it's an app world. And so when I can't name an app on either chain, apps bring users. Like when Monad was created, the model would have been create tech, hype up the tech, talk about how fast it is, parallelized, and all these other buzzwords. And the tech should attract builders, and then hopefully builders attract users. Now none of that matters. Now builders build an app, and the app attracts users, and the app hopefully makes revenue, and that's what people care about. And so what I like about Mega ETH is the way that they're like, it's the same reasons I criticize Polymarket and Kalshi, but like they're going to dump a token on us and an IPO all over retail TradFi traders by the time we get there 30 billion or some stupid number, right? And I've always said like they need to do an ICO an ICO through Echo, like do a sonar round or something for the people that built the platforms, i.e. CT. And I really like how Mega ETH's done a couple rounds. Like the first one was a bit more exclusive. Then they did the Fluffle one for people that could get the NFT, and now they're doing a more open one through Sonar again. Like Sonar worked out really well for Plasma. So I just like it. Like I like their ethos. It's like good signs about what they're about. I still think they need a killer app to be successful long term, but I'll buy the ICO.
I actually agree. I think it's all about the apps. Megaeth, I felt like had this like felt like it was going to be really big, and then I don't know, I see it less on my timeline. So maybe
they had GMX or whatever. They had this big DEX idea, right? And then they moved, like they decided to move and do their own chain or something. And so I think that hurt their hype. But yeah, it's worth a buy. It's going to go up. Like, I mean, even for a flip, you can buy it and sell it and make money, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool, guys. We're going to do the spins. 3 winners, right?
3 winners.
We've done some in the back maybe already. 58 entries. So is this for anyone with Oh no. Doesn't qualify. He's going to keep on going. What is the minimum here, intern? What's the minimum? 1,000.
1,000.
Oh God. So have you got any so far or no? Oh God. No. Oh God. Why don't we just do it by a random number generator? How many are above 1,000? Oh, he qualifies. Manco 47 qualifies. Let's just, rather than doing the spinner, let's just do a random number generator for how many people are, 30, is it 39 you said? Yeah, 39. Okay, so I'm going to just do random numbers between 1 to 39. We've got 15 and 5. 15 and 5. For the other two.
Let's go.
I think that's fine. Top 5, top 15, pretty good. Okay, so Manco, GM3R, and the GOAT are the winners. Manco, Jim, or Jimmer, I would say, but with a 3, and the GOAT. All right, so we're going for Manco here.
Yeah, Manco's in the chat. I can see him, Manco 47. How do you want to do it? Do we run it for him?
Manco, what do you want to do here, Manco?
He's
what
here.
Do you want to do?
There he is.
We were going to go 3 times or to the tracks?
All
right, we're going to have to do it for them.
I like to try to go to
They're not quick enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he wants 2K. Okay, run it to 2K. Let's see if we can do it. Maybe you get... Oh, my goodness. Manco, I'm sorry, man. You get 500. You get 500. Jimmer. Not in the chat, too. What do you want to do here,
in the chat. Start with 3.
Yeah, we'll do 3. What do we think?
Yeah, he's okay. I say, I think run it to the tracks, man.
You think to the tracks? All right, to the tracks.
I think so.
I'm feeling okay about this one.
Yeah, he's making it. He's making it. Let's go. Yes. Cut it off. Now I shut it down.
Shut it down.
Oh yes. Let's go.
Incredible play. Okay. Now the GOAT. You in the chat, the GOAT?
No GOAT.
The GOAT's not in the chat. DGen TY. You can't believe you're showing your face here without the minimums set up. All right. Let's do it 5 times 3 times for the GOAT. 3 more times.
Oh man.
All right, 500 for the GOAT too. Do you want to do one more? Split it between 3 of them?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, let's do one more. We'll try and split between 3 of them. To the tracks or nothing?
Tracks, bro. Yeah, tracks.
To the tracks or nothing. Keep going. Oh,
let's go.
What are we thinking, guys?
What do you want to do?
One more.
I mean, it's not going to be the same one, right? The last one. I think you could do one more. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I've been generous today on other shows as well. We're gonna have to leave it at that. So 500 to Manco and the GOAT. I think we had a decent run for Jimmer. We will see you again next week, guys. Hopefully all four of us will be there. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I know there's just two of us, but just as good a show, I think, me and Cook.
Yeah. Awesome show.
See you next week.
Let's go. See you, bro.